part of this tutorial with Pinak, we will learn about Adobe Illustrator software. Great. So let's start first with you telling about Illustrator and how to actually use it.
Okay. So Illustrator is basically an Adobe software, and it's mainly used for graphic designing and also for sketching. Many people use it for sketching. Uh, so basically, we'll first start at the point of how to create a new file. So there are many options in this. This one is the 2019 version. So for this, they have given some default options as A4 postcard web page. With these all are have been given dimensions of 1920 1080, which is basically an HD ratio. Similar for iPhone 10, which is almost all phones same ratio, and HDTV, and then final we have the custom size. So mostly I start with the custom size, and here again I have multiple, in which we'll be using the 1080 by 1080, which is a basic square artboard. You also have advanced options here where you can actually choose the color, which is RGB or CMYK. So CMYK is basically to be used when you're going to print your designs. So for our purpose, right now we are choosing the RGB color. This is the PPI, medium, just fine. Mostly you don't have to go into these advanced options. Just click the number of artboards you want. The orientation, in this case, it's square. Let's go ahead and create the artboard. Yes. Uh, okay.
Okay, great. So
So,
can you just tell
yeah.
about the tools which you use in this?
Okay. So, basically, the most basic tools are on the left side. So, first one we can see is the selection tool. So selection tool is basically selecting any kind of element which you have on your artboard or around it. The second one is the direct selection tool. We'll get to it in a second. And others are basically paintbrush, rectangle tool, the curvature tool, pen tool, and all the subsequent tools we'll be talking about. So let's start about from building a basic shape. So here we have a rectangle tool. If you long press on it, you will find different versions of the shapes. So first one is the rectangle tool, which is the most basic. Others are rounded rectangle, ellipse tool, polygon, etc. We'll take the rectangle. Simple dragging. And if you want a square or basically any symmetric shape, we hold down the shift key and then drag it. So it remains in the square shape. And yeah, so as we talked about, the selection tool is basically selecting our object or the element and moving it around. Whereas the direct selection is where we can choose a particular vertex of our shape. In this case, we have 4 vertices here. These are called anchor points. So we can choose when we want to choose a singular anchor point, we choose the direct selection tool. And once we click it, now we can move it around individually. So these are the mostly you will be using these two tools maximum amount of time. So yeah, these are the shapes. In the same section, we have the ellipse tool. So when we want to make circles, uh, we hold down the shift, and again we have a symmetric shape. In ellipse tool, it is the circle, or we could create variety of things. So even within a shape, now we have two properties. of the shape. As we can see here in appearance, three properties, sorry. So the first one is the fill. So fill is basically the color inside the object. In this case, it's white. So when we click on the fill option, we'll get our color palette. So we could choose red, green, and even within the color palette, we have multiple types of choosing. So one is the swatches. So these are basically the default colors which Illustrator has, and you can create your individual folders of colors, and as well as you can make proper hexagon colors, the hex files of the given color. So basically the all FFFF is, we choose it's white. So if you want a particular color, you directly add the hex file. We can change the RGB shape. So this is basically the fill. And the second property is the stroke. So stroke is basically the outer line or the perimeter of the object. So here currently default it is black. We can change it to any of our color. And on the right side of the stroke, we are given the stroke thickness, which is given in points. So single point, or we can give it a 16 point. So this is an object with the stroke as yellow, and inside the fill is blue. The third one is opacity. So opacity is self-explanatory. It will tell you how much the light will pass through your object. So currently the opacity is 100%, meaning that no light will pass. So it's a solid object. And as we decrease the opacity, you can finally see through the object. So I'll just make a darker tone. Yeah. So basically these three things are here. Another now we can talk about is grouping. Or now that we have made some shapes, let's also look at the line tool. So this is the most basic tool again. It creates straight lines, and once you leave the click, it will drop the second point of the line. Again, the line has two anchor points. You can change each individual anchor point to suit yourself. Here, for that, we can give specific angles, which is so this as a default, it was a slant line. That's why the 90 degree is showing a bit more slant. And also we can always keep it aligned by pressing the shift key. So it will always be in 45 degree, 0 degree and 90 degree. So this is always better when you want perfect shapes. So we'll also look at alignment as we are in here. So some of the basic shortcuts, or rather are control and plus to zoom in into your element, and control minus to zoom out. So this was basically some shortcuts. So now, so if we want to duplicate one object or an element, so what we do is, the simplest form is Control C, Control V, or what we could do is that we click on the object, press shift, we move the object. So now we have a object which is moving quite linear or in alignment with our previous object, and then we press alt and leave the object. So this creates a duplicate. And now that we have one set of action, which is duplication of the circle, we can click Control D to keep duplicating or keep repeating the same action. This could be any action. In this case, it was the duplication. And yeah, so if we do this, almost each one is perfectly aligned. but what we could do is we could just keep them haywire. So now if I want to align them together, I select all my objects, and then here in the align segment, I have my multiple options in which way I want to align. So usually horizontal align center and vertical align center are used so that we make a perfect alignment. But we could always just use horizontal alignment, so we get all the objects in horizontal alignment, as well as we have the equal spacing alignment which we had earlier. So this one is the equally distributed center. We get the equally distributed objects. Yeah, so this was pretty much it about alignments. I guess we covered it. So grouping. In Illustrator, we make very large designs, and in those designs, we need to make some smaller pockets of designs. In this case, if we look at it, this is one part of the design, and if I make different, so this could be my different object within my design, and this is one object. So what if I want to keep it together? So I just select all my objects, and then I have a quick action, which is group, or you can always do Control G as the shortcut. So now whichever singular object you choose and move, all the other objects are grouped together. So what we usually do is we keep those objects grouped, so it's just an easier way to work. So within this, if we want to increase the size of the object, so the anchor points are given and we get a slanting arrow. So this increases the size. But what we can see here is it usually gets distorted. So what we need to do to overcome this problem is again shift, keep the shift key pressed, and then increase. So all the dimensions have increased equally, rather than just the left hand side or the just the horizontal or the verticals. They move with similar ratios. So one more thing we'll get done here is the layers. So layers are usually used when again we are making larger designs in which we have multiple layers, which is the background, the foreground. So for example, if we use this as our pattern, which is behind. So again, here I'll be duplicating and then Control D and just create a pattern here. So what I can do is create a layer. You can see create a new layer. So now I have two layers. It's similar to Photoshop if anyone of you have ever used Photoshop. So I select the object and I get a square right in the middle layer. So this is basically the so now what happens is this moves into our second layer. So now second layer, so all objects within this layer will be color coded as red. So now we can see this one is blue and this one is red. So it makes us easier to make perfect interactions, as we can just toggle a lock to the layer. So now I can't select any of it. So now when I want to create another object over it, it won't. So here right now the layer 2 is above my layer 1. That's why I can see the orange one behind. So what I can do is again click on the layer you want to move, click it, drag it where you want and leave it. So this is basically the hierarchy of layers which you want. You can create multiple, and within the layer of different objects you can have it individually. So it's a way of working. I mostly don't use layers as much. it's a given option for you. So let's come to an interesting tool, which is the shape builder tool. So this
Okay.
is very
In, yeah. Before that, I would like to conclude this. So first we
okay.
started with documents, how to create one. Then we saw the basics tool, which were from how to select, how to make an circle or any object you want. After that, we saw the properties, which are a coloring, stroke, and opacity of the object. Then we saw the grouping, how to align it, and how the layer actually works.
Stay tuned as we are going to discuss how to create logos in Illustrator.